All paths are the same path. All doors are the same door, said the young woman with purple hair and glasses as she drove her purple VW Beetle onto an interstate near New Columbia, Pennsylvania. The road ahead stretched briefly before contracting, causing the car to tumble into a space between spaces. "I really hate this," said Oliver, a lanky blonde in the front passenger seat, his hands gripping the dashboard in front of him. "This isn't your first time," said the driver as she focused on their destination. The same road, but a few towns east of Chicago. Bending distance wasn't easy, but choosing to start and end in places where people wouldn't notice made such magical travel easier, as it made appearing inside another car and being seen almost a non-issue. Outside the car, creatures best described as squid-like moved about, along with beings made of darkness and light. Oliver knew the rules of traveling in the world between worlds for normal people like him. Never look outside. A wayward glance at something so old and abstract that a human mind could not fathom might shatter his sanity or attract a being that might find his soul tasty. Minerva could feel her destination coming closer, and as it did, she shifted her focus from the travel to it as it faded into view. A second later, she was back in the real world, passing a sign that said Babcock City Limits. The blond man was relieved as the world around him returned to normal. Over 400 miles covered in less than a minute, thanks to the driver's magic. "Maybe we should turn back," said the young woman behind the wheel in a solemn tone. "No, you need to do this," said the young man. "She's your aunt, you loved her, and you need to say goodbye," said the young man. The young woman nodded and reached out with her right hand to take her lover's left hand. "I know. It's just seeing my family, being in that place. I'm not sure if I can do it without—" Her voice trailed off. "Murder?" said Oliver in a comical tone. "Minnie, you're the bravest person I know. You have more power in your pinky finger than some countries. I've seen you face monsters and more. You can do this." The young woman managed a slight smile. Her boyfriend had a way of making things seem better by believing in her on the occasions she didn't believe in herself. "Thank you," said Minerva. "No problem, babe." Oliver squeezed the woman's hand and smiled. Traveling through the world between worlds wasn't easy. Most witches avoided interfering to bend space or fly a broom over long distances. But both of those meant expending a lot of energy. Opening an entry and exit between the worlds were relatively easy if you knew how, and spent very little energy. Minerva wanted to get to her hometown in Iowa before the snow arrived, and she wanted Oliver to come along for moral support. Also, Oliver had the old-fashioned idea he wanted to meet her parents, especially Minerva's farmer father. "I have a whole list of places we need to visit and eat at in Chi-Town," said Oliver. "Lou Malnati's Pizzeria, Portillo's, the Purple Pig." Minerva rolled her eyes and smiled. "No, we stop, tell the head witch we're passing through, stretch our legs, grab a bite, and keep going," corrected the witch. "You're now no fun," Oliver pouted. "And you're about a few words away from being a cockroach," said the witch in an amused and intimidating manner. "And cockroaches don't get to eat hot dogs or pan pizza." As the two made it to Chicago, Oliver started to sing Chicago in his melodious tenor voice, bringing a smile to the driver's lips. "That's old school," said Minerva. "Hey, I'm in the Windy City with my girl. I feel old school," said the blonde. The car moved toward the city, magically avoiding traffic and incidents that would slow their path, thanks to enchantments Minerva had cast on her car the day it arrived in a shoebox, from a witch that rebuilt it from its original mortal form to something magical. It didn't need gas, cleaned itself, and could shrink to the size of a matchbox with a thought from Minerva. Its front trunk could also hold 10 times what it normally could. It had cost 3 sets of vampire teeth, a collection of magical crystals, and a vial of blood from virgins who had never done drugs or tasted alcohol. But it was well worth it.